out what were we going to do, okay, to replace our income, first of all, okay, and then what was going to be our new careers. And I'm so grateful that, Wanda's aunt and uncle, I tell you, they changed our life. See, some of you on this call, I want you to understand, and we're going to go through more of this, is that when you make that call to someone, you got to change the perspective, the way that you talk to people. Some of you are getting on a call and you're looking for support. We don't need support. You see, they need us and not the other way around. See, I needed network marketing at that time and not the other way around, because had I not did network marketing, I wouldn't be in the home that I'm in right now, folks. Okay, I'm in Frisco, Texas, probably one of the third richest cities in the country, because of network marketing. Okay, because my mindset changed, because my perspective changed, and because I got around people who were significantly better than me, and all I want to do is just hold on and get better with them. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to that, and just know that when you make that call out to someone, okay, they're not changing your life, you're changing their life. My life was changed over 9.5 years ago because Wanda's aunt and uncle decided to reach out to us. It was right around Christmas in December of 2012. And what they didn't know is at that time, I was already going through some medical situations. I was in instructor pilot training, and I ended up going through some autoimmune things. That my hair was falling out. I wasn't always bald head. My hair was falling out. I lost a lot of weight. And the truth of the matter is, when we got involved with network marketing, I didn't know how long I had. Like, it was that bad at that moment. But my wife, during that time, the last company we were in, it was dealing with travel. And my wife, before that time, was always talking about going to Bora Bora, going across the world. And I knew that stuff cost money. I was already working my butt off. I didn't want to pay $10,000 for a vacation. I didn't want to pay $20,000 for a vacation. And so when this got exposed to her, she brought it to me. Okay. And immediately I asked, what did it cost? And then I said, we could just save the money. And I kind of said no. And I'm so grateful. This is what I want you to understand. Most of the time, sometimes your ace may need to be exposed, 2.5 or 3 times. Okay. I got exposed I got exposed 3 times actually. So the aunt and uncle called us, then we got exposed by another person. Then I had one last friend that exposed me as well too. And I'll tell you why I got involved was because of the energy that person had. They got me on with someone they said was a top earner, and that person was making this much money. And I remember getting on with them, and they were good at what they do, and it got my attention. And I started doing research. Now, some people are going to say, I'm going to do research because they don't got the money. And then you're going to have some of your folks, they're just analytical. They may do some research. They want to see how people living. I wanted to see who was really winning. And I start looking up people, and I start seeing people winning, making a lot of money here and on vacation here. And I said, I like that lifestyle. Listen, I don't know if I want to be a pilot, really. I won't have to be a pilot if I don't do that. And we committed to network marketing. Now, let me tell you, we ended up signing up with Wanda's aunt and uncle because they exposed us first. And so if I can give you anything, if you haven't went through your contact list, right, you haven't went through your Facebook list, okay, it is time to go through that list, or they're going to end up on someone else's team. Okay. How many people, I want you to type a 111 in the chat. I was hearing the song and I want to mention this. How many of you believe that you deserve to be rich? Okay. How many of you believe that you deserve to be successful? Okay. And I say believe because in order for you to attain it, you have to believe it wholeheartedly. Okay. Without any doubt whatsoever. And once you have that commitment, you understand that you can make a decision, meaning you cut off everything that doesn't get you to the place that you say that you want to be. It's so often that in network marketing, people will say, I want to be a chairman. I want to make 6 figures. I want to make 7 figures. But then they give an excuse about the very thing they want to walk away. Okay. I can't go to the event because of my job. I can't build this because I'm spending too much time on the job. And I'll tell you, when we first started in this industry of network marketing, okay, our backs were against the wall. I was sick. I wanted some freedom. I knew that retirement check the military was going to give me. Okay. 60%. Now, most average person gets 40%. So we work 40 years of our life, 40 hours a week only to retire with 40% of the income we could live off in the first place. My truth was I retired with 60% of my income. Okay. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to live off of that. So when network marketing got exposed to us, when I seen it that second time, I committed and I said, I'm in. And I looked at the compensation plan. And when I looked at what the compensation plan said back then, okay, I'm a veteran now, but let me tell you, we're in the greatest company in the world, folks. I Am Master Academy is the best compensation plan in the entire industry. I'm not just saying that, okay? Because in my last organization, my last company, I remember looking at the top rank and it said, hey, you can make, $1 million a year. And that's been the goal. And we reached the very top of the company fast. And that was not the pay because it was up to income. How many realize that when you look at the compensation plan here, the numbers are the numbers. And so if we look at the compensation plan right now and the numbers are the numbers, then why are we not just going through the numbers if we say we deserve to be rich? Right? If it takes 400 to 500 customers to be a chairman, why are you not a chairman yet? Yeah, I remember that last organization. I said, if it's to be, it's up to me. I said, if I have to go through 3,000 customers myself, I will. Okay. If you got to go through 500 customers yourself, trust me, it's worth it. We have been free. Okay. Meaning I don't have a job. I don't have a boss. We get to wake up. We want to wake up. Of course, I enjoy spending time with my children. We wanted to buy our freedom back. And that was the decision that we made, that we were going to do this thing until we were successful with it. So what I'm going to tell you guys, listen, we're rolling into 2023. We still got a couple of months left here in 2022. And now is the time to launch. So when 2023 comes in, your momentum is already being created, because it takes about 90 days. So whatever you're doing right now, okay, listen, if that's nothing, then you're not going to have nothing in 90 days. Whatever you're doing right now, okay, it's going to appear in your back office in 90 days. So if you're showing people like, man, no one's really getting in, but you're just showing and you're showing and you're showing and you're showing, 90 days, you're going to see something show up, whether people call you back to get into the system, or you just have some momentum and energy that is flowing into your business. But you have to create that momentum. One of the things that I abide by when I'm saying that is something called the law of compensation. Okay. And the law of compensation, if you want to learn all these things here, one of the greatest books to study here is the law of success. Okay. It's a big book. We did a whole mentorship call on this book, and I'll tell you everything in that book. I can tell you every chairman in this company pretty much is abiding by those laws in the book. And if you abide by those laws in the book, you're going to be successful. Okay. So the law of compensation says that you cannot be cheated. You're going to get paid for the work that you do. And you're also going to get paid for the work you don't do, meaning you're not going to get paid. So if you're not doing anything, and let me give you an example of how the law of compensation works. If you're at your job right now and you're just doing enough, you're not going above, okay? You're barely making average. You're just doing just enough to make a paycheck. How many of you realize that at some point you're going to be fired? You're not going to have that job. Versus if you're a person on that job, if you do more than what you're paid for, eventually you'll get paid for more than what you work for, right? That's the perfect example in network marketing. If you do more than what you're paid for, eventually you'll get paid for more than what you work for. And so if you're going above and beyond on the job in network marketing, in direct sales, whatever, right? You're going above and beyond, doing more work than you're being paid for right now. At some point, okay, the money will catch up. Now, the problem in network marketing, here's the secret. People start off and they don't do enough work. They say things like this because they're so addicted to the paycheck. Okay. Can we admit most people, the world has got us addicted to paychecks. And if our paycheck doesn't come on a Friday or on the 15th or on the 30th, we don't want it. But what we don't realize is we're blocking out our blessings to accumulate more. Okay. And so when I talk about the law of compensation in network marketing, okay, you'll hear people say, well, it's not worth my time. They may show 10 people and everybody said no. So now their feelings are hurt. They stop and they're like, yeah, no one's saying no. And they spend an hour in their business. And they expected a paycheck, okay? And then they're done. And all I can tell you right now, if you're brand new on this call, if you just stay long enough and you take action long enough, okay, at some point you will get results. That's just a part of the success formula. And so going to this, how do we get this thing started? Okay, this is your first time and we're telling you, let's go do some business. Let's go build your income up to $10,000. Let's go build your income to $25,000. And maybe you've never even seen $5,000 a month. I get it. So we got to raise the belief level. We got to raise the confidence level. And there's a way to do that. Okay. So what I want to ask you right now in growing your business, okay, what do you typically do if you decide to sign someone up? Do you have a system in place? Because if you don't have a system in place, you don't have a business. That's the difference between someone being self-employed and someone being a big business owner. Someone who is a big business owner, they abide by systems. Why? Because systems is going to save them time, energy, and money, right? They don't have to be there. My old mentor used to say, okay, when you teach them how to teach, you can go to the beach. How many of you want to be absolutely free for real? Okay, I want to be free for real. That's why I'm addicted to network marketing. I'm addicted to direct sales because I understand what traditional business is. I don't want to have to show up every day to a traditional business because that just makes me self-employed. I want to be able to do business. If I'm at the beach somewhere, my money's still flowing in. Every Friday, listen, I haven't skipped the beat yet. Every Friday, we have a check in our account. Every Friday, okay? There's no one doing that right now. And you get to determine how fast, how much, and when you want to do it. You realize that? The world doesn't determine when you become a chairman. You realize that you get to determine today when you become a chairman. If you want to be a chairman in 30 days, you can be a chairman in 30 days. Folks, when we got into I Am Master Academy, we had chairman in 60 days. Now, in our last company, it took us exactly 3 years to hit the very top of the company. When we got here, I put a target up and I said, I want to hit chairman. I want to hit it fast. I want to hit it in 30 days, we hit it in 60. And so we hit chairman 10, 60 days, of course, chairman 25 in 16 months. And I'll tell you, how did we hit it so fast? How did we hit it in 60 days? When we started, we launched, okay? As a pilot, for example, you talk about taking off. If you understand how an airplane works, okay, you'll never take off with minimal power. That means using less power because you want to save gas. You're going to crash and burn every single time. And so if you want to take off, right, as a pilot, you're going to put max or full throttle, however you want to call it, max power. And then once all that engine is roaring, you release the brakes and you let that joker roar and take off. Your business and network marketing is the same way. As a matter of fact, the only way to build a network marketing company is to launch it, okay? There ain't no other way to build a network marketing company, and that's what makes us much different than a traditional business. Traditional business, you got some time. They expect that they're not gonna make a profit for the next 5 years, okay? But in network marketing, you can make a profit today. You can make a profit next week, and it determines how fast are you willing to launch? How many people are you willing to get in front of? How many leaders are you willing to build, okay? And so who are we looking for? Let's start this off, okay? First things first, you know, if you're brand new on this call or you're resetting on this call, here's what I want you to do, okay? We're resetting. We need one new person, y'all, okay? I want you to write down your top 20 to 30 prospects, okay? If you're brand new, top 20 to 30, you got a fresh list. You got a fresh phone, okay? Your top 20 to 30 prospects. That's the ones we're going to start with first, and then we're going to expand that list to 100 or whatever your belief level was. See, when I started in this industry, folks, I said I want to make $1 million a year. So you know what I created? I had a list of about 1,000 people. I took them off my Facebook. I took them out of my phone. Okay, I was in the military, I had all my military friends. And listen, folks, trust me, I took the blows, I took the punches. Okay, but I wrote down that list. Okay, because if you don't have a list right now, you don't have a business. Okay, how many of us listen? We operate multiple businesses, right? And I can tell you, a confused mind does nothing. If I wake up tomorrow and I don't have my task list in front of me, there's going to be something that drops out of my cross section, okay? That means I'm going to forget to do something, or I'm not going to call someone, or I may not build my business because it's not written down on paper. So when you write the list down, it makes the business real. And the longer your list, the more that you believe. So if you come in, someone said, I just know 10 people. I'm just letting you know they don't really believe it. Okay. The person who writes down, I got 500 people on a piece of paper, you better attach yourself to them. Okay. They're ready to go do some damage. They're trying to make some money in this thing. So who are we looking for in this top 20 to 30 people? Okay. Because most of us, we try to gauge like, hey, I got this one person, they're going to sign up. And then you try to gauge who's going to sign up and who's not going to sign up. Let me tell you, out of the 9.5 years of me being in network marketing, okay, I'm not that good at guessing who's going to join and who's not going to join. There are people I said, man, they're going to kill this business. They're definitely join. This is too easy. They already do it. Okay, didn't join. Then I had people who joined and they crushed it. I'm like, what? Oh my God, crushed it. Okay, so we don't judge anyone. We show everybody. You said that you deserve to be rich. We show everybody. So who are we looking for? Okay, we're looking for people who trust us. Okay, if someone trusts you, most likely, if you have a lot of credibility, they're going to find you. You know, Juan and I, we built some credibility definitely in this industry. I had credibility prior to coming to the industry as a pilot, as an aircraft commander. So I was able to get a lot of my friends on at the front end of this industry. And a lot of them did become successful. But here's what I also tell you as well. A lot of the friends that I got in as well, some of them weren't successful. But you know what's crazy? They led me to people who did become successful. So you got to understand what network marketing is. Network marketing, if you're a real network marketer, you're learning how to get into other people's network, right? Okay, we're not in direct sales per se, we're in network marketing. That means I know how to network through people to get to the person I want to get to. And if you ever heard this before, your ace, your next chairman, the person who's going to kill this business, probably will not show up in your downline in your organization until you get 5 people deep. 5 levels deep is probably where your leadership will show up at. And so you have to get used to, okay, putting in sales and customers and building through them, which we'll cover. And I believe Joey covered that last week as well too, how to build through your organization. And we'll do a quick summary of that too. So people who trust you, someone who has 2 jobs, trust me. Listen, I had multiple things I was doing. I was so driven to get out of the rat race, folks. While I was a pilot, I was doing real estate on the side. I was a real estate agent. I was doing something that most people would never do. If you were a pilot, you were at the peak. Like, that's all you wanted to do was be a pilot. You knew you were going to American Airlines afterwards. You're gonna have a nice check. That was not my vision. My vision was to be free. Okay. And so I was working multiple things. So you find someone with doing multiple things, they're going to look at the opportunity. Why? Because they have a mindset that they don't pass over opportunities. You know, POUR stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. Okay, your friends, best friends. If you have a true friend that you rock and ride with, most likely they're gonna probably sign up if they're your true friend. Now, I'm not saying double like they didn't join, so they're not my friend. Okay, but put your friends on the list. A lot of my friends that joined this industry with me, they became successful. They became multiple six-figure earners inside this industry. Okay, those who need more money. Now, this one could be a little bit hard because just because they need it don't mean they're going to work for it. Okay, let me just get it straight. In the United States, unfortunately, you got folks who will come from another country, get into this country, they see the opportunity. Then you have people who are here and they don't understand the privilege that we have in this country. Even the worst of the worst, and I'm telling you from experience through flying through Afghanistan and Pakistan and all these desert places, is that the poverty in those places is unlike no other. Okay. And here in America, our poorest person, okay, is still rich in another country. And so when I say someone who needs more money, yeah, maybe they might do it, they might not, but they go on the list. And then lastly, who is the most successful person you know? They're natural leaders. You see them every time they go in, it seems like they're always successful in whatever they touch. You're going to talk to that person, but there's certain things you're going to do. What I want to do is recommend a book for you guys. If you've never had it before, it's called Building an Empire. Okay. This book is the network marketing Bible. Right? A lot of the stuff that you hear a lot of the network marketers say, a lot of that is in here. Okay. And so I would definitely get Building an Empire by Brian Carruthers. Okay. So that's what you're going to do with your top 20 to 30 lists. And then from there, okay, we're going to create our real invite list where you're just going to literally phone dump everyone in your phone. You might not even remember, just phone dump them, because if your phone reset, okay, we're talking about your business. It's like losing business contacts. Okay. Can you imagine if you lose your phone? It's like you lost your payroll. It's like you lost money out of your account. It's a big deal. So phone dump that thing, get your Facebook, okay? Get all those folks off, get your Instagram. Now Instagram, you might have thousands of people. You don't got to get all those lists off, but there's a lot of different invites that you can do. And then what we're going to talk about is raising your belief level, okay? In network marketing, you'll probably realize that when you see any top earner, the confidence is through the roof. The belief is through the roof. My belief hasn't always been here. My confidence hasn't always been here. Just like everybody else, I started off as a normal, regular person. I remember being in front of the rooms, okay, with my first mentor, sweating my butt off, trying to present, stumbling over my words, okay? So a lot of people see me now and you may say, well, he's sharp. You know, I speak in front of people, he doesn't get nervous. Okay, that wasn't me always. My first day, I sucked really bad. And I'm serious. Okay, I remember the first presentation that my mentor had me do. Literally, when I stood up, okay, I forgot everything. My brain said, I don't know what you're doing. Okay, I literally had to turn around to the slide and go and start reading off the slide. So if you think that this is hard or you're not gonna be able to do this, I promise you, if I can do it, everybody on this call can do the same exact thing, okay? And so when I first started in this industry, folks, I had a goal that I wanted to make a lot of money doing this. And I knew that I needed to compress times. And I came across a lot of videos. And the biggest part about network marketing, what it looks like to go full throttle, is to compress timeframes, okay? What you think you can do in 1 year, I need you to compress it to a 90-day run. And if you can do it even faster, compress it to a 30-day run. Okay, a lot of you are underestimating the work that you can do in that short amount of time. And then we overestimate the work that we can do in a longer amount of time. Okay. And so compress the time frame, that list of 100 or 500, you're going to go through that as fast as you possibly can. I'm telling you from experience, not only were we able to do it one time in our previous company, we did it right here again too. And we're going to launch here again, 2022 rolling into 2023. Okay. And so get that list long, get your belief up. Okay, build your confidence up. How do you do that? You get it. You keep getting in front of the room regardless if you mess it up or not. You know how I became a better speaker? I kept speaking regardless if I was going to stumble over my words or not. You know, I became a better network marketer. I kept doing more network marketing over and over again. And to tell you the truth, it feels like I've never really taken a day off from network marketing. But because it's not a job, I enjoy doing it. okay? And so if you're looking at this right now, you got to find something that you enjoy about this industry that you're doing right now that you can stay persistent and consistent with, okay? So when you can compress time frames, it's going to look like you're going fast, because fast is fun in the network marketing industry. And you know what sucks? Going slow. You know why going slow sucks? Because you may sign, if you're the person you're like, man, I'll sign one person a week up, okay? That's good because you get 4 people out the month, but if you got 4 people leaving the business too, that ain't good. Okay. And so signing up one person a week may not be enough. So you need to compress those time frames. Instead of signing up 4 in a month, we sign up 4 in a week. Okay. We want to double what we're doing. And that's what's going to actually grow you, because when you go fast, guess who else is going to go fast? Those who are actually following you. Okay. And so you're going to go through the numbers as fast as you possibly can. But here's what I'm going to tell you. You know why you're not? There's some people hearing me right now. You've heard this talk, I don't know how many times. Let me tell you the reasons why you're not going to reach out to your folks. Let me tell you the reason why you won't become free. Let me tell you the reason why you won't change your family's life. Let me tell you the reason why you won't, send your kids off to college, because it's going to be because of you. All right. And these are the things that are holding you back. You're scared of not being liked by the people you're going to reach out to. We have this story that we have in our head, man, if I reach out to them, they might not like what I'm doing, or I'm selling to them. Or you feel that they may feel that you are pushy when you reach out to them. Okay, we have all this crap in our head that's holding us back from our goals and the things that we want to achieve in this life. Okay, you may think, and I hope you don't believe this, maybe you think the product doesn't work. Okay, maybe you're not a good trader right now. But remember, we're not selling profit, we're selling education. Okay, I'm a good trader. I trade and I build. I trade for real. I went through every academy inside of our company. The products work and they work real good. You just got to work it. And so if you're not, let's say you're looking at that and you're like, well, I don't believe the product work because you're not winning. No, you went through the education. Did you learn something about Forex? Did you learn something about cryptocurrency? The products work. Did it educate you? The products work. Now, as far as your results in the trading industry, that has nothing to do with the education. Okay. And so just make sure that you don't mess your mindset up to the point that you're not reaching out to people because you're telling yourself this story. And then the last part is being scared of rejection. Okay. One thing I'm gonna tell you right now, I got 5 kids. Really, I got 6 kids in my house right now. I got my nieces and nephews that I got with me now. And listen, nobody's gonna pay this $700. Listen, a $700 electric bill, y'all. Okay? I almost lost it. I don't care how much money I make. A $700 electric bill. None of the people I'm picking up the phone to call are gonna pay my $700 electric bill. You know what's gonna pay it? Me. Okay. I'm gonna make the call. I'm going to go through the numbers, right? Because I want the lights cut on in my home for my children, right? So what is the thing that is going to get you moving, that is going to get you driven, that is going to get you to say, I'm not going to stop until, okay? And when you have that drive, you have that conviction, it's yours. It's only a matter of time. Why? Because you're going through the numbers. So I want you guys to write this down, okay? And for real, if you got to abide by this, I know people care what people think. I don't care what people think. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. And I know I can say it all day long. Don't care what people think. And I know you're like, I know, Randy, but I just do care about what people think. Okay. So you're gonna have to remind yourself. So put on the top of your paper, SW. You've heard this. Some will, some won't. Okay, who cares? What's next? They don't pay the bills. It's time to move. 2023 needs to be a whole different tempo, whole different belief, whole different person for you, okay? And you got to get that in your head, because if you care about what people think in this industry, you will not go anywhere, okay? Now, I'm not saying don't care about people. That's not what I'm saying. I said don't care about what they think. And the truth is, most time, it's just a story we make up in our head, okay? Most people aren't thinking anything. You know, what we've come to learn is that psychology-wise, most people worry about themselves, okay? They're just trying to get by. You know, you mentioned something about a couple $100. Some people can't even fathom right now. If they're such in survival mode, they can't even fathom what they need to do to get out of that survival mode. And that's okay, because what you're going to do is just be persistent with what you're doing, and you're going to show them. See, what I look at it is that some people are going to just take longer to sign up than others. You're going to have some that just say, I'm in immediately. You're going through those numbers. You're going to have some that say, but they're going to watch you. Okay, I can't tell you how many people just watch. And you probably get this. If you were consistent, you get this. Man, I've been watching you for the past year. Okay, I gotta get this. I gotta get in here. I've had people who watch me for 2 years. I had people watch me for 3 years. I had people watch me from this company to this company. And they finally sign up in this company, okay? People are going to sign up not because of the company most of the time. See, most of us, we're trying to sell the product. Man, we got this one scanner, man, that scanner shows like, listen, it gives you the trade right then and there. You don't got to put the stop loss in. It gives you the stop loss, give you everything. You give them all the attributes about the things that it offers, and they still ain't here. And you're like, why are they not signing up? I just told them they can make money. Because they're not signing up for the product. You got to get them to believe. You got to get them to believe in you. You got to have so much conviction that when you talk to them, that when you tell them your vision, that you tell them where you're going, that they look and it makes them wonder like, man, if I don't do this, this dude sound like he's serious. He just said he gonna make $10,000 in the next 60 days, and whoever sign up with him, he gonna bring them with him. You got to be convicted so much. It can't be no let me see. Nah, it's got to be a straight conviction. Like it's a fact, because it is. It's a fact in the future. I'm speaking my future into existence, but don't be that person. Don't become that scammer where you say you're going to do something, okay? And then times get hard and you're out of the system in a month. You're out of the system in a year. You're out of the system in 2 years, 3 years. You see, don't get out of the system until. Success in any level playing field is until, okay? I can tell you becoming a pilot, guess what? I had pullbacks as a pilot, okay? I had struggles as a pilot. I had some flights that I had to recover from as a pilot. So it don't matter where I went. It didn't matter whether I was staying in the military or whether I did network marketing. I still was going to do something until, okay? The secret sauce, do it until. You know, the saddest thing to watch is grown adults get into something, have a huge dream. They tell you their aspirations, like how they want to retire themselves, their spouse. They tell you how they want to live free. They tell you how they want to send their kids to college. They tell you all these things. They tell you, God, I'm so grateful God sent this to me. Okay. But then within 6 months to a year, they're out the system. So I guess those things weren't really real. Okay. No, success comes with a price. One thing that I was willing to do was pay the price, just like I had to pay the price being in the military, folks. You know, when we got in, you know, my mindset, I want to put you in the state of where my mindset was. First of all, I was sick. Okay? But that wasn't going to stop me from making sure my family was taken care of. All I want to do, if I was going to pass away, I wanted to make sure my family was intact, in place, and they weren't going to skip a beat when I left this earth. Thank God I'm here. I'm healthy. You know, everything's great. And I have a wonderful company, wonderful business partners on here right now. But here's the mindset that you have to have. You got to make a decision that this is what you're doing, and you're not getting out of that system, and you're going to show us as many people as necessary as required, okay? Because that's what network marketing is, okay? If you look at all the top earners, Joey just told you he's been in over 10 years. I've been in 9.5 years. I'm looking at Sakina on here. She's been in the industry, I think over 10 years as well too, several companies, successful. Right? You look at Jason, you look at Matt, you hear all the stories. They were in previous companies, Alex Morton, several companies. And so if you can look at those numbers and you realize the magical number, y'all, yeah, I seen someone put 10 years, the magical number is 10 years. So why are you getting out of the system after 10% of your journey? Okay, give it 10 years, give it until. And you have some people who have been in even longer than that. But what do we call it? The law of compensation. Because here's what I want you to know. Some of you are hopping out of the system too early, okay? Or you're teetering on the line to get out of the system because here's what you think. Man, I'm putting in all this work. Wonder if it don't work. Wonder if I go 10 years and I don't get paid a dime. And that just ain't true. That means you don't believe in the law of compensation. Because the law of compensation says that you can't be cheated out of your time, regardless. Listen, you get to your 10 years, and maybe you wasn't successful, but you learned some other skills that got you promoted at your job. You didn't get cheated. See, we got to see where the value comes from. And the value means you may have become a better person, okay? And so I'll tell you, to be a leader, you're going to have to become a better person. We are all magnetic. We're energy. And so if you want to attract the person you are right now, if I give you this question, if you attract the exact person you are right now into your organization, would your organization grow? Some of you are like, well, absolutely not, because I don't call nobody. My phone don't call out. So yeah, you can recruit all you want. You can recruit 4 people, 10 people, 100 people. But if you're not really out there, and I'm saying you can recruit them, maybe they'll just call you up and say, hey, I want to get in the system. Even if you could have an ace come on your team. If you don't got the right energy, you don't got the right vibrations, they're going to be out the system too, because you were not the person to lead them. And so if you really want to get this done, I'm going to tell you the first thing you need to work on is yourself. See, there are several stages that you need to understand about leadership. And the first one that everyone misses, I'm going to tell you, let me tell you why they miss it. I'm going to tell you if you missed it right now. First, work on yourself. The reason I can sit in front of you right now, I have a lot of books here to the right, a lot of books over here. I've read a gang of books to increase my value, to increase my knowledge so that I can give it out to other people. And when I did that, I realized I started getting bigger caliber people in my organization. And so if you want to attract the person you are right now, no. So start building yourself up. Start looking, what does that person look like? What does my Chairman 10 self look like? What does my Chairman 25 self look like? What does my $1 million self look like? Okay, am I confident? What do people do when I walk in the room? You have visualized who you are, what you are, and where you're going. And if you do that every day, eventually you will become. It's not about doing, it's about becoming. And when you become, there is nothing that can take it away from you. Why? Because it's you. It's who you are. And so number one is you got to work on yourself. Okay, focus on you. How are you going to do that? You're going to read some books. You're going to plug into events like this. We're going to talk about our next event coming up in Orlando. Do not miss it. You're on this call hearing me. Don't miss that event. Don't miss any event. I'll tell you, in all my 9.5 years of being in network marketing, I've never missed an event. Never. Why? Because there's always going to be something there for me that was going to change my life. I've always believed that. And every time, it hasn't failed yet. Every time I go to an event, there is something there for me, whether it reset my mindset, whether it gave me more drive, whether it gave me more gas to go, there was always something there. But if you miss an event, it almost sets your business back by 6 months. So I want you to think about that. Some of you believe that if you make a decision, not going to the event is making a decision. You're basically making a decision that, I don't really want to do business. Okay, I don't need this information. You need to become a professional. You need 10,000 hours of network marketing to become an expert. That's the Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell. And when you go 10,000 hours, 10,000 presentations, 10,000 listening hours, 10,000 objections, 10,000 is the number. You got to go through it as fast as you possibly can. And when you go through it, okay, you're doing the numbers, okay? And so what does it look like to be a leader? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm feeding too far ahead. Number two, some of y'all mad at me right now. You're like, well, what's the next one? Number two of the 4 stages of leadership. Build relationships, okay? It's important. One thing about network marketing, this is not a traditional employment job. You're not a traditional boss CEO where you don't have to talk to your people every single day. When I started in this industry, folks, that's the number one thing I was doing was building relationships. I was saying we was closing down Buffalo Wild Wings. I was in a little small town called Abilene, Texas. We were closing down the Buffalo Wild Wings. We were closing down Starbucks every single day. Okay, and I would have my core builders with me every day. We met up at Starbucks. Every day we met at, and then when Starbucks shut down at 9, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. And all we did all day long, hung out, present, hung out, present, hung out, present, because we weren't stopping until we finished it. And when I finished it, I wasn't stopping until I start finishing for other people too, right? Which brings to number 3 is creating a culture. You want to create a culture that don't stop, you don't stop. See, your attitude as a leader will determine the culture of your team, okay? Your attitude as a leader will determine, okay, the culture of your organization. You know, when a lot of things were happening in this company, for example, maybe there were some pullbacks happening for some people in their back offices and they were going crazy. Well, while people were doing that, our organization wasn't. Why? Because we prepared. Okay, I didn't get the calls like, oh man, what's happening? All the back offices? No, none. Why? Because we had already prepped and created a culture that we just gonna work this thing. It is what it is. We're gonna go because we made a decision that we're going to the top of this company. And the last one, you gotta be able to develop a new leader. If you can't develop a leader, meaning if you're on this call right now and you haven't popped a P150 in this company, a P600, a P1000, got someone to your level, then you're not really leading yet. You got somewhere, but you're not leading yet. To lead means to develop new leaders. All right. So that's what's required for you to lead in this thing. And we're going to talk about a formula for you to just take one person, make sure my time is good here, for you to take one person, okay, and build yourself all the way up to chairman. All right. And so before getting into that formula real quick, everyone understands the success formula. I want you to just write it down. I want you all to look up the success formula, just go through the blueprint really quick. Okay. The success formula, if you apply this in your life, in anything, okay, one of the things I'll get a lot is that, man, you're so persistent. I know people tell me all the time, you're persistent, you're consistent. People are going to tell you what you are. Okay. And I'm going to tell you success formula. Number one, you got to have a definite purpose, definite aim. You got to know exactly where you're going. If I ask you right now, what's your goal when you hitting Chairman 10 and you go, you don't have a definite aim, right? If I ask you right now, you should be able to rattle off your tongue, Chairman 10, this date, okay, and exactly what it is. You have a definite aim, okay? And you have to be persistent and take massive action when you're going towards that thing. Number two, okay? You got to learn how to control your thoughts. This is the one that will take you out the game. It is very, they say that our mind wanders off, is it every 15 minutes? Like far as our attention wanders off every 15 or 20 minutes or so, okay? So that means we're thinking like what they say, 80,000 thoughts, either an hour or a minute. Okay. And most of them are negative thoughts, unfortunately. And so if you want to change that about yourself, let's say you're like, I'm going chairman, but then you have an environment of negative people and naysayers that are doing the opposite for your mindset. They're saying, oh, that's not possible. I had a friend that was in that, they didn't make it. And they are saying that more than you bringing in the testimonial stories, the success inside of our company. There's a lot of success inside of our company. So you have to control your thoughts so much, almost like a fairy tale, to it's happening regardless. There ain't nothing negative about it. There's nothing that is conflicting with where I say I'm going. I'm going Chairman 10. I'm in the right environment. I'm going to every event. I'm talking to my mentors. I'm talking to top earners constantly. Why? Because I know that I have to keep this in check in order to succeed. But the problem that happened is we all are, as far as energy, like attracts like. We go to the people who have the same emotions and feelings as us. And so if you've been complaining, you're like, this is happening, this is happening. You know who you're going to vibrate with to? All the complainers. And all you're going to do is have a nice little pity party together to eventually everyone's going to drop out of the system one by one. Okay. And each person gets cheated out of their position. Why? Because they hit you with number two. They had control of your thoughts. People are creating condos and apartments in your mindset right now. And you can't afford to allow them to do that. Okay, you have to be the one to build up those apartments and condos in your mindset with positive thoughts, positive people. And listen, it's almost a fairy tale. Someone says something negative, okay, I got to get rid of them. I can't listen to it. Okay, and if anybody doing your run right now for 90 days, I want you to do this for 90 days. Clear thoughts, no negative thoughts. Someone says negative thoughts, cancel, and you let them know, you correct it, hey, I can't have these thoughts because I'm heading here. Right? It's like someone giving you opposite directions. Your GPS is set to your successful destination, and someone pops in and say, you know what? You don't need that thing, the old school directions. Man, you're gonna see that McDonald's at the corner right there. You're gonna hang a left right at the McDonald's. As soon as you hang a left on McDonald's, there's gonna be a little rock sitting to the side right there. You're gonna make a slight right on the rock. They redirecting your GPS. Okay, don't allow people to redirect your GPS. You get to control that. So positive thoughts all day long. Number three, you got to build self-confidence. 85% of people have no confidence. That means when I come in contact with 10 people, so if I'm a leader and I want to develop other leaders, my number one job is to make sure I build up that future leader's confidence. I want them to be able to stand in the room, with their chest out and know that they're covered, that they're about to do this thing. Your job is to build up confidence and not the other way around. Don't be a toxic person or toxic leader, okay? It's going to impact them. You're going to say, listen, I always say this too, because I did suck in front of the room. But when I get someone to do the presentation for the first time, I know they might not do that good. And they're going to feel like they didn't do good. I'm not going to tell them, that was pretty sucky. No, I'm going to compare them to my first day. See, what happens is a lot of us on this call, we compare our day one to someone's year 10. Think about that. And then you get these thoughts. Once again, then number two comes in. You're not controlling your thoughts. Your thoughts go off like, man, I suck. I'm a failure. I'm not doing this. I'm not confident. I can't even hit P600. Blah, 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 blah. Not knowing that you started on the 1 yard line prior to the touchdown. And the person that you're comparing yourself to was already in the end zone. Okay. And so what I'll tell you is don't compare yourself ever, because comparison is a thief. It will rob and steal everything out of you to the point that you don't even achieve what it is that you were going for, okay? And so you must build confidence. How do we do that? Meditation and affirmations, okay? Auto-suggestion. This is the success formula. Auto-suggestion. What is that? I'm constantly telling myself where I'm going, constantly affirming myself, constantly saying I'm good enough, You are good enough. Type in the chat, I'm good enough, okay? I want everybody to type in the chat, I'm good enough. You are good enough, okay? There's nothing that's different about me. There's nothing that God gave me that he did not give you. Do you understand that? You got a mouth and 2 ears, okay? You got legs, okay? You can, and if let me stop, my mind just go. You got legs, okay? You can walk, you're in good health, okay? Go, you are good enough. Number 4, write down your goals and make them visible everywhere. Okay, I know it seems, some people may say, I remember when I first joined this industry, I'm like, write my goals, I wrote them down, but it wasn't like people were talking about it like it was magic. So I was like, I write my goals down, cool, put it right there. That's so cool, my goals. But then it got serious. I started listening to some things and I realized I need to keep my goals in front of me because why? Because my mind had a mind of its own as well too. Right? You got something called the reticular activating system. If you focus on negative things, your reticular activating system is only going to point out the negative things. Okay, this is science. Okay, if you're focused on the positive things in your life, okay, your reticular activating system is only going to focus on the positive things in your life. Okay, what is the reticular activating system? Have you ever wanted to buy a new car? You're like, man, I'm gonna buy a brand new BMW that's red, and then all of a sudden you start seeing red BMWs everywhere. It's not that you're just all of a sudden red BMWs are just popping up. They've always been there. Is that now you're paying attention to it because that's what your mindset went to. So if you're focused on negative thoughts, your mind is only going to go to negative thoughts, even though good things could be happening in your business. Okay, you may have just popped the rank in your business, but you're going to only point out the negative things happening in your business. Why? Because that's what you focused on with your reticular activating system. So this is why it's important to write down your goals and keep them in front of you at all times. Okay, and the last thing, number 5 is important. You want to build a foundation on solid ground. Okay, build with integrity. Period. Karma is something, and it will hit during the most inopportune times. You ever had someone hit you up? Maybe you know how to trade really well, and someone hits you up like, man, my upline don't trade, so I'm trying to get up in with you, and they want to switch teams. Let me tell you right now, none of those people are successful. They ain't successful in the team they leaving, and they won't be successful with your team either. Okay, and so I want to save you the heartache because I want you to build on solid ground. Because when you build on solid ground, you're going to have that explosion. The right people are going to come into your business. And so how are we going to build this thing? Let me go through this really quick. Joey hit on this last week. I call it the 6 steps to duplication. So when you're building this thing, I want you guys to think about that number 1 person right now. Okay, you need 3 people in your organization, and you need 3 good ones. And so all that we're talent scouts. We're looking for 3 good people that we can put our all into. And when we find those people, they become our best friends. Joey talked about moving in with them. Listen, I've traveled around the world moving in with people. I've hit ranks in people's basements. I remember traveling way to Germany, and in someone's basement, I hit the second to last rank in my company, and then left there and went in somebody else's basement, and I hit a rank from there. I slept on couches. I traveled the world. And when we started, I was used to being away from my family 8 months out of the year. I'm gonna tell you, like when I left my career, I was used to being away from my family 8 months out of the year. And when we committed to build this to the very top, I remember telling my wife, I said, well, babe, I was already doing this, but when I deployed to Afghanistan, I can't just come home. Okay, I'm there 4 months straight, no wife. Sometimes we had no communication. But here, when I got into the industry, I said, listen, all I gotta do is travel this market and this market and this market and this market. And if you ever need anything, babe, I'll just hop on the flight and come home. Just like that. And so that's all I did when I started in this industry and launched. I traveled to market to market to market, and all I wanted to do was duplicate myself. See, my mentor had duplicated himself. Okay, he kept coming into my market until he got me comfortable with presenting on my own. And once he got me comfortable with presenting on my own, he was done. Okay, I started building the business. And so we call that, he started building with me, building through me, and I started building for him because that was the steps. And so I call it the 6 steps of duplication because the first person you need to identify is someone who really wants to build this thing. And so right now you have someone in your organization, they may not be saying that you need to go through it and say, hey, who's really serious? Who wants to go chairman? For real, don't give me no lip service. See, a lot of people give lip service because they tell you what you want to hear. I don't want to hear that. I want people who really want to build it to chairman. And I'm not saying that if you're not building, I don't care about you. That's not what we're saying. See, what I'm trying to tell you is that network marketing has a certain love language. Do you know what it is? The love language of network marketing for a company to continue to survive is called putting a customer in the system. So if you love the company, you're going to put a customer in the system. Why? Because that's how the company eats. That's how the company lives. That's how the company pays its corporate team, which sells in the system. And so if we just are independent, we just do nothing, we just focus on ourselves, okay? That's us not helping people, first of all. So we can't expect to make a lot of money, because you only can make a lot of money if you help a lot of people, okay? And know that. And so if we love IM, we love what this business is, let's feed this business. Let's feed your business. Let's go do it, okay? And so number one, identify a person that you want to work with, okay? Who could that person be? You know, we say there's 5 things we're looking for inside of them. Number one, they got to be coachable, meaning they're going to listen to what you say, what you do, how you do it, right? And nothing outside of it. I was very coachable when I entered the industry of network marketing. I probably duplicated my mentor probably better than anyone that was doing it. I did exactly. He said, you just said like this. I said it like that. Okay, it has to be to that point if you're going to get the same results. So you got to be coachable. Number 2, you got to have desire. If they don't have desire, folks, you cannot make them become a chairman. You can't make them become a top earner. I don't care how much money you tell them is in the comp plan. Listen, our comp plan has $750,000 a month. What other thing do I got to give you? You got folks like, man, I wish we could lower this, and I would, if we had that, then I'll build it correctly. No, you won't. If they put this bonus, I'll build it correctly. If they lower the payment, I'll build it correctly. No, you won't. Because if you ain't building it because you're going to make a gang of money, if you ain't building it because you're going to go chairman 50, 100, 750, then there ain't nothing that's going to motivate you. Because you get to those levels, it's going to change your family's life. So if you can't get motivated off of that, then that ain't it. Okay? And you got to figure out what makes you bounce, what makes you go. All right? So identify that person who has the drive. They got credibility. When I came to this industry, I have a lot of credibility. Now, a lot of people don't have credibility, folks. Okay, and I'm not saying it's not going to work for them. I'm just saying they're going to have to leverage your credibility, and you're going to have to teach them, hey, we're not going to necessarily use them. You're gonna lean on your mentor. Hey, listen, my mentor is a self-made millionaire, or my mentor is a multiple 6-figure income earner. He's a phenomenal trader. He's changed the lives of so many people. You're going to edify that person and take it off of you, because now what you're selling your friend on, okay, who you may not have credibility with, is you're selling on another person that you happen to connect with. So if you are having a hard time edifying, you know, your upline, your sidelines, or someone, you need to get that out of the way, okay? Because you're going to have to edify to raise yourself up. And then once you hit some ranks, now you got some credibility. You understand? You have some success. Now you got some credibility. But until then, you got to borrow the success of people who are already doing this. I'm going to borrow Joey's success. I don't know about you. How many people you know making $100,000, $130,000 a month? Right? Say, and Joey, when's Joey? Just turned 30. I think, listen, he's killing the game. That's easy. Man, I got a mentor who was giving me the time, 32 years old, giving me the time. And he's helping people reach the pinnacles of their life. He's helped people retire in this industry. And all you have to do is just sign up, and he's going to help you. Okay. You're going to put that on them. All right. So identify the next thing. Number 4, they can take a punch. They're resilient. They're going to get no's. Okay. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, you're going to have to learn how to build very fast, because here's what's happened a lot. Okay. You ever have this person, they sign up, they're all excited. And I'm going to tell you, the more excited they are, the more expectations they have, because expectations is rough. You got to control the expectations. Man, I'm about to get rich tomorrow. Man, I'm about to put $100 in my account, and we about to build that thing up to 10,000 in 30 days. Okay. They're going to be out the system, y'all, real fast, okay? So you better either network market, you better get their network fast, or you better give them the right expectations, or they better be very strong and take a punch. And if they get their no, they're like, so what? Next person, let's go. You get that, you need to move in with them. You get someone who's resilient, have these things, move in with them. The last one, number 5, they're driven. They're driven. They're not going to stop. They're doing this thing every single day, okay? I got someone who's doing this every single day. I'm moving in. I'm going to the market. We're building together. Show me all your friends. All right. And so that's number 1, identify someone you want to work with that has those 5 things. Number 2, build rapport. Build rapport. Okay. This is a friendship business. If you build rapport and you build a friendship in your organization, I can tell you, listen, you got to outfriend everybody. You want to be a good network marketer? When you build friends, like a real sincere friendship, okay, and people know that you care about them, they're always going to be with you for the most part. And even if someone leaves your organization, you have to have the same energy you had when they were in your organization, as well as the same energy when they're out of your organization, because that's a real friend. And when you have that, listen, it's just, I don't know if it's just the universe, the world, God, he just brings people to you. Not only will that person, right? That's your friend. If they have to come back, they're going to come back. Okay. But you're also, the world's also going to bring other people to you because why? They see the sincerity of you. Your energy is sincere, right? So build rapport with your people. True friendships. Number 3, you're going to give them a challenge. If they're really trying to build this, here's what I do to see if someone's really doing this. I give them, if they're going P600, I'll say, hey, hit P600 by this day. Or as soon as you hit P600, I'm going to show up to your market. Or it may be P1000. For some of you might say, look, you put one selling system, I'm showing to your market. You just want that spark. Give me a spark. I got the rest. Okay. Sometimes that's what I have to do that. And I'll talk about that story. Number 4, once they do the things you tell them to do, you need to show up. Okay. We get people, you know, can you imagine if you had a Joey Wilson in your business and you didn't know and you didn't show up and then he got out of the system and you never knew? Do you realize this happens all the time? People enter your business and exit your business every single day. Some of them could have been your aces. They just signed up. You just, as the leader, you're the top leader. You didn't get them fast enough and you allowed the best friend who brought them in to be the leader over them. And remember, they're not a leader until they can develop a leader. And so you got to learn how to reach down. When a new person signs up in your organization, you need to be welcoming them to the team, learning about them, building rapport, right? And then you might find like, oh, they're dreaming. Oh my God, they got this, that. That's your new best friend, okay? You got to friend them outside of the friend you had, the new best friend, and you're going to work with them too. You should be working with everyone in your downline that is ready to do this thing at a very high level. Number 5, once you show up, this is what you're going to go through. Joey talked about it last week, okay? You're going to teach them how to present. You're going to teach them how to invite. If you don't know how to invite, we don't have really a lot of time on this call to talk about the invite, but I want you guys to look it up. You can do something about the 4-step invite, or you can do a text message to your folks, but there is a proper way to do an invite. Actually, I will do the invite so that you guys have it, but you're going to build through someone. That means if I go show up in your market, I want to know all the friends and family that they have. And I'm looking for the person that has those 5 things that I talked about here. So we build through, then we build with them, and then they eventually build for us. Once they're presenting, once they know have the objections down, I can leave the market. And when you leave the market, it's not what happens inside the market. See, we cheer because we fill up rooms inside of markets. It's not what we do. It's not what we do when we're in the market. That doesn't matter how many people sign up. You know what matters? How many people sign up when you leave the market. Because when you leave the market and people are still going in the system, that means you did your job. That means there is a leader in that market now that understands what to do, and they're putting cells in the system without you. That's a system. But if you always have to be in the market before they invite, you always got to be in the room before they sign someone up, okay? You're still self-employed. You don't have a business yet, right? You haven't developed leadership, right? And then lastly, number 6, before you leave that market, before you leave a Zoom call, you want to cast vision. Constantly build up people's confidence. Tell them where they're going, where they're at, where they're going. Hey, man, one day we're going to be on yachts. One day your bank account's going to be so big, you won't even have to look at it. You won't even have to worry about money. Okay, you got over 5 million people in this area right here. We just get 10%. It's said we can build so many chairmen in this area. So just have the vision on board that you want to cast for them and keep on saying it. It's like a company's mission statement. A company's mission statement, they're going to always tell you their mission statement, right? When I was in the military, for example, I can rattle these off, and I've been retired now since 2013. But here's what I know: integrity first, service before self, excellence in all we do. Why? Because the Air Force instilled it in them. That was their mission, our core values, what we call it, along with our mission statement. So you need to have a mission statement / vision statement, and you constantly give it out. All right. And so before we finish this off, if you're brand new on the call, I want to give you this. Here's an invite for you. It's called the 4-step invite. All right. And so every day our company has presentations, and all that you have to do is invite. Now, I already talked about why you're not going to invite. Let's get over that point. And when we get over that, here's what's going to help you get people on the call. You know, me and my wife got so good at this invite. You can get we would invite people. You want to know how you so good. You invite someone to the same presentation twice, and they didn't realize they were getting invited to the same presentation because you got so good at this invite right here. Okay, here it goes. Number 1, you need to be in a hurry when you call the person. Okay, so we're going to make our list. Number 2, you're going to clear the date. Okay, go and put some spaces there. Number 3, you're going to get excited. Number 4, confirm the date. Here's how it sounds. Let's say if I want to invite Joey, okay, I'm looking for my ace. I want to invite Joey to a presentation. I'm going to say, hey, Joey, listen, I don't have a lot of time right now. Why? Because I don't want Joey asking me questions. Okay. Or if you're the person where, you know, like, but I'm lying, I'm not really in a rush. Okay. Then you need to make the call when you're really in a rush at some point. All right. But I'm going to call Joey and say, look, listen, Joey, I don't have a lot of time right now. Then next thing I'm going to clear the date. What are you doing tonight at 7 o'clock? Okay. You know what Joey's going to say? He's going to say, I'm not doing nothing, or I'm busy. Okay. And if he says I'm busy, this is where most of us, we miss the invite, because if he says I'm busy, you try to clear other dates. We're not on clear other dates. We're just going to hang up the phone. We're going to say, cool, no big deal. I'll talk to you about it later. Click. And you know what happens? Joey's thinking like, what? Because we're so curious people. What did he want? He's probably going to even text you afterwards. Hey, why? What's up? What do you want? Don't worry about it right now, man. If you clear up at 7 p.m., then we can talk about it. You know what Joey's going to do? Because he can't help it. He just clear my date. Maybe you didn't have it. Hey, listen, I don't got anything going on at 7 o'clock. What's up? Okay. You clear the date. That's called a win. Okay. We go to number 3 and we get really excited. And we say, listen, I got something you got to see, but I don't have time to talk about it right now. Okay. I got something you got to see. You know what they're going to ask? Every single time. So prepare for it. Every single time. You're going to say, I got something you got to see. You're going to say, what is it? And this is where most people fumble the ball. Don't throw up. It's trading, is this, is that, is that. You don't have to say all that. You're excited. You want to get them on the presentation. You don't want to explain it. You don't want to tell the movie. Boom. You said you're free at 7 p.m. I don't have time to talk about it right now. I'm going to send you the information 5 minutes before the call. I need you to get on this call. It's going to be a big deal because I need to see if you see what I see. I need you to get on this call because the last part is confirm the date. I need you to get on this call to see if you see what I see. That's it. Okay, you're not lying to them. You're not telling them what they're going to see yet. And then when they get on the call, they're going to watch it, see it, and then you talk to them afterwards. And don't be weird. Just be normal. Hey, don't ask them what they think. Hey, listen, I've been doing, you tell them your story, your testimony, and maybe you get somebody else on the testimony, and then you close them. And so we use that as the 4-step invite. And if you guys just practice that, listen, me and my wife, we used to just have fun with it. We practice every single day doing that invite. If you really want to put butts in the seats, you really want to put them on a presentation, you got to get good at that invite. Okay. Nothing happens. I can tell you how to build through all day long. Okay. I can talk to you about your mindset all day long. But if you don't pick up the phone and invite, there ain't no business. Okay. And so you got to invite at some point within your career here. And so I'm so grateful to be a part of this industry, folks. I'm ready for this next level inside of our company. Listen, we have our event coming up in Orlando, where just like what we're doing right now, you get in-person training from top earners in the company of everything they've done in this industry. And you get to hear it right there for just for $100, a couple $100, folks. Okay. When I tell you about personal development, you go to any of these big personal development seminars, you're going to pay $5 grand, 10 grand. You know, I have this thing that I tell people who are trying to go to personal development events. I say, listen, you guys are spending too much money. All you got to do is sign up for a network marketing company and just go to their events, right? You sign up for a network marketing company, you're almost getting free personal development, okay, for a limited amount of money. And so we have one of the top, I believe that we have a good training system right here in IM. We have top earners. You got out of the best. Alex Morgan inside this company as well too. You're going to meet a lot of these individuals at the event March 24th to the 26th in Orlando. If you log into your back office immediately when you log in, you'll see the tickets on the right. I believe they're on sale right now for $149. So make sure that you get your Orlando ticket. And so, folks, listen, you're gonna have to build your rhino skin. You have to put that chest out, and it's time to go. We're rolling into 2023, and I believe that IM is the best company in the world. And we got to go show that with our actions. It's time to build up the United States. And if all of us on this call right now, tomorrow, everybody on this call, if we all decide to pick that phone, okay, call 5 to 10 people tomorrow, put them on a presentation. We can have a couple hundred people on a presentation, eventually 1,000 people on a presentation. You've done this before. All you have to do is reset. I know, okay, I'm talking to myself too. It's hard to reset sometimes because you know what you're thinking about? You know, it's like when I go to the gym and I build up, and then I'm out of the gym for a couple months or even 6 months. And I feel like, man, I might as well not even go to the gym again. I lost my muscle. I lost everything. I got to start over again. You're not starting over. See, the difference is you got the skill set. You know exactly what to do. It's not going to take you a long time. You just got to hop in there. You just got to go do it. So before we end this call, folks, listen, you got to continually fight. You know, I always like to end this story, these frogs, and they're hopping through the woods. And I know Kim knows this, when they're hopping through the woods, and as these 5 frogs are just hopping, 2 of the frogs just fall into a pit. And when they fall into the pit, the other 3 frogs look inside the pit, and they're looking down. They see how deep it is, and they realize they're not coming out. They're not gonna be able to hop out of that pit. And so these frogs that fell in, they start hopping and jumping. And the people that they're around, their friends that were hopping with them, they're like, y'all might as well just stop. You're good as dead. You're not going to get out of there. It's way too deep. You don't got that much hops. And so the harder that they decide to hop, the louder that their friends would yell into the pit. And so it would hop harder and harder, and they would yell louder and louder. Just stop, you're good as dead. You're not gonna get out of there. Okay, you might as well just save your energy, that's it. And they would hop harder and harder, and they would yell louder and louder. And eventually one of the frogs took heed and they stopped hopping. The other frog seen that frog stop, and he kept hopping harder. Eventually that other frog died, and the other frog just kept hopping and hopping. And the friends would look down and yell louder. Just stop, man. You can see. You're just going to kill yourself. You keep on exerting your energy. And he kept hopping and hopping and hopping and hopping. And eventually he hopped out the pit. And when he hopped out the pit, the other 3 frogs gathered around him. And they looked in amazement like, you did it. I can't believe you did it. You hopped out. And then the other frog said, well, I'm grateful for you guys. Thanks to you guys, I was able to get the energy and the motivation to get out. And they said, what? They said, we weren't giving you motivation to get out. We were telling you you were good as dead. And the other frog who hopped out the pit said, oh, I'm deaf. I only could read lips. See, some of you gotta allow your negativity to fall on deaf ears. You gotta, your naysayers, okay? You can't hear what's coming out of them. When they yell louder, you go harder. When negativity comes to you, you go harder. When mom, dad says, you've been doing this thing for a year, you still ain't got paid, you go harder, okay? The spouse says, man, you've been working on this little side thing for a long time, you still ain't brought no more money to the family, you go harder. See, the only thing that works in this world, if you take action, if you want to be an ace in this business, action cures everything. You got to be the ace by taking action every single time. Let's go, IM. It is our time to build this thing up, and let's take the US to the top. Let's get it. I appreciate you guys having me on here.